Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Wow, good afternoon. Our time. Okay. Good afternoon. I'll be moderating this discussion session. We need mics, please. I'll be moderating this session and with my panelists. And afterwards, we're going to have a question and answer session. That will be after the session. So, and then the theme of the discussion, which some of our speakers have touched on, it's how can the diaspora community contribute to the growth of Nigeria economy. So I would like to start with, I would like to borrow the word from the youth, Japa. Japa is a term used by Nigerian youths for Nigerians who have relocated abroad for greener pastures. And as we are seeing right now, because of the economy, Japa isn't reducing anytime soon. As a result of that, there's been brain drain. A lot of our brilliant mind, talented individuals have relocated. So our discussion today is going to be centered around how can these people who have relocated contribute to our economy. So I'm going to be starting with Dr. Ade Rinwale. Okay, so my first question is, as of December 2023, statistics record over whopping 12,198 Nigerian trained doctor licensed to practice in the UK. That's apart from America and the UAE. So now, how can Nigeria foster an environment that encourages knowledge transfer from diaspora professionals?
Thank you very much, Madam Moderator. Well, the figure you gave is just relating to health professionals. We're not even talking about IT experts. And you find that majority of the banks today, most of the IT departments are suffering. But so to be able to harness and be able to tap from that knowledge base. Now, the diaspora includes it's not limited to those who left purely through migration in search of new economic opportunities. There are those that were born there. There are those who left who have been abroad for several years. To be able to tap from them, first thing first is to understand, these are rational economic agents. To be able to make use and connect with their talent, it's not going to be based on any sanctimonious harmonization or some non-rational emotive appeal to nationalism and patriotism and all of that. All of that is very nice. It is to say, does the government itself have a good mindset about how to use this? Take, for instance, in India. On the 9th of January, every year, there is a major program in India that recognizes the achievement and contributions of Indians not living in India. Now, all of us are human beings. All of us want to be celebrated. All of us want to be affirmed and to be acknowledged. So if you want to harness their talent, if you want them to bring their expertise in, first is to start a process of recognizing them one way or the other. In China, they talk about 1,000 talents. Again, for the Chinese, whether you call yourself a Chinese American or Chinese whatever, once you are Chinese, you are. So, and again, because of that, they recognize that a lot of the Chinese in the diaspora have a lot of talent and they can contribute. So again, you have that. But if you look at what is happening today in Nigeria, particularly let's take the health sector. I know of so many hospitals where if you go today for consultation, let's say surgery, is to take, because when I was going to have surgery in one of the hospitals, we had another doctor joining in from America throughout the duration of that surgery. And then they're bringing in all manners of global best practices. And those are the type of ways you can get them. If you then look at the young ones that are living, I'm a victim of it. My first son left already for Canada. The second son has been in South Korea since forever. I mean, that one is studying brain science and specializing in artificial intelligence. The first one is in IT. And it's because there's no space for expression of those talents in Nigeria. So if you want to say there are opportunities for you, if you invest, if you have the technology and you bring it in. I started going to Ethiopia 1990. As at that time, from Bole Airport to main town Addis Ababa was almost bush. But today, drawing on the funds and the resources of Ethiopian diaspora, you will see the transformation that has taken place from the airport, from Bole Airport to Addis Ababa, because the Ethiopian government has a special program that targets the Ethiopian diaspora, that encourages them to invest locally in Ethiopia. Let me stop at that.
Thank you very much, Doctor. My next question is for Mrs. Ifadi. Ma, it is important for strong mentorship program. How can the young Nigerian professionals build relationship with diaspora for mentorship and skill development?
Thank you very much, Madam Moderator. For me, strong mentorship program is very crucial for skill development, particularly for our Nigerian young professionals who aim to thrive on a global scale. Our powerful approach will be by building relationships with Nigerian professionals in the diaspora who bring diverse perspectives and global insights. Some of the ways we can do this will be: one, to engage with digital platforms and professional networks. Platforms like LinkedIn, Zoom, Google Meet, sector-specific associations provide easy access to this diaspora network. The young professionals should proactively seek out groups or forums that are dedicated to Nigerian professionals abroad. Join their conversation and network with them and express interest in connecting for mentorship. Attending virtual conferences is also part of what needs to be done, where experienced professionals in the diaspora participate can also create opportunity for such connections to be made. They also need to participate in diaspora mentorship programs and initiatives. Several organizations that are structured for mentorship programs, specifically connecting Nigerian youths with diaspora mentors. Initiatives by the groups of the Diaspora Network and the African Development Center often focus on linking young Nigerians with mentors who are keen on giving back to their home country. Most people in the diaspora, most of them are eager, they are passionate about giving back to people within the country. They want to encourage people, not necessarily to japa, but to improve on their careers, improve on their skills. The only way this can be achieved is for the appropriate connection to happen. So such platforms need to be identified and located. Leverage social media and networking groups. Social media groups like WhatsApp, Telegram, also we can leverage on that. Cross-border certification and membership can also be leveraged on. Building these relationships require consistency and genuine curiosity. By actively reaching out and participating within these groups, the young professionals can tap into the excellent skills that people in the diaspora have the expertise of people in the diaspora, and they certainly can get from them and encourage themselves. So what I will leave with the young professionals is like one of the speakers said, do not let anyone say you cannot do it. Do not let anyone pull you back. Just be determined and ensure that you leverage on such available platforms to make your to improve on your expertise. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. My next question is to Miss Grace. You're welcome. In the current dispensation, advancement in technology, AI machine learning is a new development, and then it has really brought about significant fortune to us. What role do you think that technology plays as pathways or for talent exchange between diaspora and Nigeria?
Okay, thank you very much for the question. So, for the first thing I would like to mention in the role technology has played, we all know that technology has taken us from like a level 0 to level 100, and then in terms of remote working, in terms of collaborating with companies overseas, you know, when you get opportunity to work remotely, you can only do that using technology. You can only attend your meetings. You can only attend your meetings using Zoom or Google Meet. You can attend your. You can only work with project management tools using technology. Even in human resource, just like the moderator has said, just like she has said, in human resource there is this ability for you to match your resume and your CV with like an AI platform that helps match it. You see some jobs where people apply and then they are just rejected immediately, or they move to the next stage immediately. All of those things are application of technology. And then for us, as you know, with Nigerians looking for opportunity, or a young professional going into like building your career as an individual, it's always very important that you leverage on technology, whichever area, whichever field you are in, even if it's mass comm, even if it's whichever field or career path you want to take in, just look for where is the application of technology in this path. Where is the application of technology? How do I apply artificial intelligence? We have a lot of artificial intelligence tools. We have ChatGPT. We have different tools. So it's for you to like have this edge. It's always important you know how to utilize those tools in your different field. It's very important because these tools, they are here to stay. We will all hear that AI is going to take away our jobs one day and all of that. But it's the person that knows how to make use of that AI, the person that knows how to make use of that tools, that technology tools, will keep remaining a master in their field.
Thank you very much, Ms. Grace. Dr. Akiode, my question to you is, Nigeria has levied on public-private partnership. They have even levied on public-private arrangements as a special purpose vehicle to bring about development in different sectors, including infrastructure, education, and health. My question is, how do you think PPP can facilitate diaspora engagement?
Thank you very much, Osato, for that question. Before now, the private sector have been cooperating with the public to get. Now, we want to look at how people, the diaspora, can get involved. First and foremost is, let me talk about infrastructural development. You see them dig all over Lagos by the roadside, and you see those colored cable, heavy duty cable, being buried into the ground. Before you know it, you start hearing of 3G, you start hearing of 5. Now, in that now, I get text message from MTN over and over again. You are located in a 5G area where, okay, I should use this. You are located in a 5G area where you can enjoy high speed. Please subscribe to our 5G network. So I was wondering, I already have 4. But you see, when I moved into that 5, I saw the difference. You understand that? So infrastructural development is one way the diaspora can help us, bringing in good technology. And I also have this. I always complain about it. I moved from outside Lagos to Lagos yesterday to attend this meeting. There are a lot of blind spots along, just from Ogun State here to Lagos. There are some places where your network just goes off. PM, you will not see any network. You don't have such technology in some developed countries. Under the water, their network is still very much effective. So infrastructural development is one that the diaspora can help us. Another one is knowledge transfer. In Nigeria, we've been having we have NOTAB, the National Office for Technology Acquisition and Promotion. But I'm wondering what NOTAB is doing now. Diaspora can come in to do that, and that is to make sure that, see, the technology that is being used in other countries, how can people here know how to use it? What NOTAB started with is, for every new technology that is coming from outside the country, let a Nigerian also understudy that expatriate. You can't continue to repatriate your fund from Nigeria outside your country indefinitely. After 5 years, whatever you have done, somebody should have understudied you. Then that person becomes independent and practice it here. So knowledge transfer is another one. Let me talk about the third before I will talk about the two I have, if time still permit. And that is this issue of intellectual, proper engagement of our intellectual capacity. I wish the Commodore, the Major General was still here. Sometimes early this year, you knew how that 17-year-old boy, 115, that 17-year-old boy that is already writing program that could beat the system of banks and move money there to a particular account. He said the EFCC, okay, it was the EFCC chairman. He said he was surprised that a 17-year-old can do that. And I don't want to doubt all of you sitting down here, all these young people sitting down here, on your capacity, your capability when you get on the system. The day the owners of Google came to Nigeria and made an invitation that they need employment, immediate employment for Nigerian youths that are experts, people that have used that Google search engine beyond where they have expected. It was this man, Covenant Nation, Koju Oyemade, that said, see, the people they are looking for is people that have done Yahoo at mega level. I think you have done Yahoo and you built house. You have done Yahoo and you made this money. People like that, they are the people that are very smart there. You are the ones they are looking for. They want to engage you immediately. See, all of you are already laughing. That's the same way everybody was laughing that day. Do you know he made that call? Those white guys were standing. Nobody got up. But we know in that gathering, Yahoo boys are there. They didn't stand up. So the white guy had to come and say, please, we are not saying this for arrest. Anybody would think that they will just take you to the corner and cuff your hand. Say, no. We found out that you guys have used this thing beyond where we can. And we are looking for people like that for immediate employment. You know, if you beat an American system now, in Nigeria, they could lock you up. I'm sorry to say that now. You could be locked up and incarcerated, put in prison. And that knowledge will just be wasting away. If you do it in many developed world. So you are that brilliant. Come here. Immediate employment. They reorientate him and they will use that skill. So the diasporas could begin to help us on how we could engage our skill. The capacity here is super high. It is just how to tap it and gainfully employ it that I see. So when I talk about infrastructural development, knowledge transfer, let me stop at proper engagement of the capacity of our youth in Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Akiode. Dr. Akiode is not encouraging us to jackpot and go and do yahoo yahoo because we want to be employed by foreigners. Please. My next question is for Dr. Aderiwale. Sir, at the 78th United Nations General Assembly in New York, United States, during a tagged event positioning Nigeria as a global talent hub, the then Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Doris, discussed that Nigeria government has launched the National Talent Export Program as a special purpose vehicle for transforming Nigeria economy to create at least 1 million jobs in the next 5 years. Sir, are there examples of this successful exchange between Nigeria and other countries to refer? Or what are some successful examples of talent exchange initiatives that have positively impacted Nigeria, or which we can learn from?
Thank you very much. There is the Indian Technical Economic Corporation. Under this arrangement with the government of India, because as all of us today, the Indians are leading in terms of human resources when it comes to they have a lot of developers, and they're leading several of IT companies or fintech, and they've been very prodigious in that respect. So there's an arrangement between federal government and the Indian government to train around 500 Nigerians every year, build their capacity in the area of IT and other technology. So the lesson from there is that Nigeria should continuously identify those countries that can provide serious value addition to us in certain areas where we lack it. The second one, there's also an arrangement between the Nigerian government and the British and also the Americans, particularly in the area of healthcare, which again, the idea is to improve the capacity of our healthcare professionals, particularly our teaching hospitals and a number of private, high-end private medical facilities. Again, enabling them to plug into global best practices and to see how they can use this to raise the standard of healthcare delivery. And today, if you look around you in Nigeria, there are a few world-class health facilities that you find in Ikeja, in Lekki, and I think in Abuja. And okay, apart from that, there is also the program by TED Fund. TED Fund also has a program where they identify scholars in Nigeria, sponsor them to certain countries to improve their knowledge, insight, and expertise, and re-inject them back into the system, hoping that they will use their knowledge and expertise to drive the system. Then what you also have is you have a number of fintech platforms and agri-tech platforms that are led by returnees. The returnees are the ones that are also driving this. Then you have the Nigerian National Volunteer Scheme, where they try to find technical experts that are of Nigerian extraction and re-inject them into the system for a brief period of time, hoping that they will be able to galvanize and transform. All of this is based on one clear thing and can only impact Nigeria and move if and when our leadership understand one thing. That the treasure of Nigeria, that the greatest resource we have in Nigeria is not your oil and gas, it's not the mineral resources you have buried underneath. It is our human resources. It's our population. The day we understand that is the day that Nigeria will be able to transform. And as I round up, I give you the example. We started my company 25 years ago. We're totally Nigeria-led, Nigeria-managed, and Nigeria-based. And we have 1,600 and something employees, all of them Nigerians, and they're doing first-class job. They're doing first-class job. So the talent base in Nigeria is there. We've had our own. All the international retailers came. Of course, as usual, the international retailers will move on. We are staying. By the end of this year, we'll have 30 branches. We'll probably be the biggest in Nigeria. And this is only Nigerian and run by Nigerians and powered by Nigerians. And it shows you what the Nigerian human capacity can do. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, Dr. Mrs. Ifade. Given the diverse and distinct nature of Nigerian economy, how would you prioritize the most pressing sectors in Nigeria where diaspora expertise are urgently needed?
Thank you, Madam Moderator. For me, my priority will be the healthcare sector in that order. But let me take the healthcare first. We all know that in Nigeria, the average doctor to patient ratio, not absolute, is about 5,000. But World Health Organization has put that the ratio is supposed to be 1 to 600. We know that many of our doctors, sons and daughters, even people who are older, most of them have jackpot. We've talked about jackpot here. And they still intend to jackpot. The truth of the matter is the environment is the reason why people jackpot. Are we preaching that people should jackpot? No. Because we must stay here to build our own. Therefore, we need to tap into what the diasporans, people in the diaspora, the value they can bring to us. Particularly, the last speaker talked about our teaching hospitals. Our teaching hospitals, private hospitals, so much investment is required in the healthcare sector. For those who have the privilege of traveling many times, for example, I was in the United States and in Houston, and I was looking at one particular hospital premises, and my heart, I don't want to say my heart sank. I just wondered. I said to myself, if it is possible to just take this, if you enter the hospital, you don't feel that you are in the hospital. Such can be brought here. Such expertise can be brought to our environment here. But the environment also has to be properly enabling, which means there should be intentionality of government having to encourage people. So we need to tap into improving our healthcare. Priority number one for me. Number two is education and skill development. Our curriculum, the diasporans we can tap into that in improving on our curriculum in education. Curriculum as it is now can be improved tremendously in the sense that we need to catch them young. You see that in some countries, for example, I take China for example, there was a time where we saw on social media the Chinese, they are teaching the very young ones, ages 1 to 3, 4, ages, let's say 3, 4, 5. They're already teaching them foreign Nigerian language. To China, it is foreign because it's our language. They are planning for the future. Teaching them, let me give an example. They are teaching them Igbo language. What do they need Igbo language in China for? But they are planting. They are planting, like looking at the future 10 years from now, 20 years from now. So there's so much that needs to be done in the education sector. looking at science, technology, engineering, mathematics, so much that we can tap into. So much investment needs to come back home to leverage on that. Technology and innovation also. Technology hubs. We've talked so much about technology. We've looked at what technology can do in healthcare, what technology can do even in agriculture. Technology is you would say, is the hub of everything that we do. So we need so much to be done, so much intentionality to ensure that we are making progress. The young ones are improving in their knowledge. Agriculture and food security too needs to be looked at. Let me just stop there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma. Our time is fast spent, but I'll be still asking. I just have 2 more questions to ask. Miss Grace, please just answer in 1 minute. For some young Nigerians like me who are still in this country, what step can be taken to benefit from the experience of diaspora community? Please, 1 minute.
So I would say thank you. So I'll give like two major things you need to do. First is, yes, you decided to stay back in your country and build, which is really noble. I'll implore one, you have a global mindset. Whatever skill you are employing, whatever skill you're trying to learn, let it be a skill that is relevant globally. You can actually stay back in your country and earn in dollars. It's very, very possible. You know a lot of persons doing that. And so I'm just going to make it a bit more practical. Sometimes when people try to, provide these services or provide these services that are quite global, you might face a challenge. So it's always important, especially when you have like a LinkedIn platform. I don't want to start all over, but as speaker has mentioned that you have a LinkedIn platform. You should network with people you know. Let's start with Nigerians you know that are in the diaspora community. If you want to get that job, that remote job that you need, to earning in dollars while you're in Nigeria, it will start from those persons you know, those CEOs you know that they are Nigerians, but maybe they own their company in the United States, they own their company in Canada. I have that experience of a financial modeling company in Canada that I work for, and it's because the person is a Nigerian, the company is registered. So you can as well, expand your your ability to earn, ability to provide value, despite the fact that you are in Nigeria, you've chosen to be in Nigeria. Providing value shouldn't be, you shouldn't allow geography constrain you. You can be in Nigeria and provide value globally.
Thank you very much. Because of time, I have so many questions to ask. But I think we take this discussion offline. So, because I promised we'll have question and answer session. Because I promised we'll have question and answer session, I'm just going to take very few questions. So if you have questions to ask, signify by raising up your hands. I can see 2 hands. I have. I think we'll take 3. Please, you ask questions. You stand up and tell us your name, the organization where you work, the panelists would like to answer your question, and then your question. Sir, man, black. You, sir. You answer our first question. Ask our first question.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is God Erofurikuba. I'm a communications professional. I work for Marioni Mazil Limited. First of all, I'd like to thank NIM for this wonderful initiative. this is really extraordinary. And I know that our young people here wealth of knowledge. But let me just very quickly, go to the panelists. My first question goes to Dr. Aderi Wali. I believe, I hope that I pronounce the name correctly. Thank you so much for all the nuggets that you have shared with us. But I have a question for you. It couldn't be just that simple. I mean, you make it seem so easy. All of your accomplishments. I want to believe that there are challenges that you've had to face. For instance, you are in direct competition with global brands like ShopRite. Yours is just right. And you have been in business for a while. These other global brands, they have the benefit of support of their foreign governments and maybe financial institutions that probably provide facilitation for them such that they stay ahead of the Nigerian competition. How have you been able to cope in, number one, retaining your workforce, preventing them from adopting the Japa syndrome? In this economic environment where everyone is complaining, even the big global brands are leaving Nigeria. Yesterday it was GSK, just recently Guinness is just preparing, and then you, a Nigerian company, you are still able to not only be consistent in paying your workforce, but you are still thriving. I would like you to share with us some of your key success strategies. Because for some of the young people here, and even for the older ones like us, we still want to know how to succeed and stay above water. What are those things that you do? Is it that the government likes your face and they just open Central Bank of Nigeria, the vaults of Central Bank to you? I don't believe so. There must be something that you're doing right. What are those things that you are doing right? And then very quickly, my next question goes to Ms. Grace. I believe that's, yeah, okay. Would you be kind enough to share with us? Because there are people here who would want multiple streams of income, and just as you have hinted, just a little bit of it. But what are some of the things that people can do, especially for these are young ones who have, entrepreneurial spirit? What can they do? How can they begin to, where do they need to look to be able to access, for instance, offshore business opportunities in order to have, different multiple streams of income? Thank you.
Thank you very much for but I will summarize it thus. It goes and spaces. Your angle of perception, your angle of vision defines the spaces you see. The spaces you see throws up the opportunities that you can. And when you have that, you can navigate. Then, because of that, your vision itself, you're clear about it, then your discipline and tenacity. It's very easy to start and stop and fail if you do not understand again what they call delayed gratification. Kills most businesses in Nigeria. That today, you want to ride the same car the man who has been in business in the last 40 years is riding. You live like him. That's what kills most of us. And then the rest is due to just when. Thank you.
So, thank you very much for the question. First, I would advise you to acquire like relevant skills. I'm going to use finance as an example. So if for example, let's just say management now. We are young managers. Some of us are young managers here, and maybe you are in the financial sector. There are relevant skills. You can take up financial analysis. You can take up data analysis. You can take up even as a business analyst. So there are these opportunities you can take up. The first step is acquiring that knowledge. Very important. And then when you acquire that knowledge, you need to put yourself out there. The best platform is on LinkedIn. You need to put yourself out there on LinkedIn. And then there are other remote hiring platforms like Upwork. I think I've seen FlexJob. And then just like I mentioned, you also need to reach out personally. So sometimes what I did was personal engagement. Somebody I knew that knows somebody that needs this service and all of that. So
Thank you very much. I had two people who were supposed to ask questions. I'm so sorry. I won't be able to take it. But you can meet me after this session, and then I'll take you to any of the judges to answer your question if it's really, 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 really important. Thank you so much. And our judges, our panelists want to say something. Please, just
30 seconds, she said. I understand that Dangote schooled in Egypt. He came to Nigeria to start selling cement on trading. But a time came when he started a cement production company. And you know what Dangote has done to today. Most of you might think that this suit was imported like every other person said to me. But some of our guys here, you are saying Aba made. Which one have you made? They will buy this suit overseas, bring it to Nigeria, open it, and look at the cotton, put it together again in the Nigerian way, and reproduce it to the market. You will almost get what you have there. The Chinese that he's kept repeating and repeating, they went, it is their diaspora that went outside to go and learn, acquire all those technology, and they brought it back into their country, and boom, their economy explode. What you will go and learn there from the diaspora, bring it back into the country. Let us make a national wealth and not individual wealth. Thank you.
thank you so much. I want to thank our panelists, Dr. Aderiwale. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for honoring us. Thank you, Miss Grace. Thank you, Mrs. Ifade, and then Dr. Akiode. Thank you, audience, for your attention, and thank you for being wonderful. Thank you so much.